So I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, so I had given two drawings. One is a transbearing cage and ball pillar. So do you have any difficulties in understanding the drawings? If you have gone through the drawings, any terms like here now this drawing is mentioned that bores 100.0099.98 and 75. So that is this bore 100 and another bore that is 75. That is this bore. Hmm. So should be concentric with diameter 125. That means this bore, then this 100 wala bore and this 75 bore should be concentric to each other. That means all this has to be done in one setting. Concentric, I hope you understand. Then I just wanted to ask, now here it is mentioned within 0.05 TIR. So can anybody tell me what is the meaning of TIR? This must be concentric with diameter 125, 124.98 within 0.05 TIR. The meaning of TIR. The meaning of TIR is total indicated runout. Total indicated runout. That means if I put this, if I this, that is if I hold this component in three jaw chuck on this diameter 125.00 and make it true. See, moment I hold this component in three jaw chuck, it is going to come true. True means it will run 00, because that is hold in the chuck. And if I put a dial here, and if I put a dial indicator here and here, and if I rotate the workpiece, then the dial should not show variation more than 0.05. That is what is the meaning of this 0.05. Hmm. That is, this should not be out with respect to this diameter more than 50 microns, meaning of concentricity, or it should not be eccentric by more than 50 microns. The meaning of concentric is eccentric. Hmm. So now, is it clear what I said? The meaning of concentric
Yes, sir.
or concentricity. Chete? Yeah. So we were discussing this design for manufacturing and what to minimize. So what to minimize is this, and we also discuss what to maximize. So now, what is the design process? It consists of what? Design process means. So the question which can be asked is, write a short note on design process or write a short note on design for manufacturing. Different, and the answers also are different. So it should not be mixed. So this is what is design process is. So the first step is initial conception and evaluation. Initial conception and evaluation means this is what the engineer's work is. Like a graduate engineer, he will have, means he has approached the customer, he has studied the requirement of customer, fine, and then there is initial concepts or be called as a general assembly drawing of the machine or of the equipment uh, in his mind. That is what is called the initial conception and evaluation. For example, like suppose if the customer wants a bottles, pet bottles, then the engineer uh, has in his mind that now I am going to make this pet model. I'll go for injection mold or shall I go for the blow molds? And if it is a blow mold, then what should be? Whether it is I should go for single cavity, I should go for multi cavity. then what should be the size, so all that, he has to figure out. Or suppose if the customer says that I want to bake, I want to do the baking, that is uh, powder coating. He has done his some powder coating or painting, and then that powder coating or painting has to be baked. Baked means heated. So for that he needs some curing oven. Curing. So you as an engineer have something in mind. So what should be the size of my curing oven? Whether it should be single sided, whether it should be double sided, whether it should be electrically fired or whether it should be gas fired. What should be the size of the oven, 10 feet by 6 feet by, what kind of motor, what kind of conveyor arrangement. So all these things, that general assembly is in your mind. That is what is for the initial conceptions and evaluation. And engineer will also evaluate whether it suits the customer requirement or not. That is what he does in initial conception and evaluation. See, what I'm trying to tell you, this is different from your drafting. So that's why your, you know this subject, I mean not this subject, CADD means what? It is a computer aided design and drafting. Computer aided design and drafting. So design means what the engineer does, and drafting means what the draftsman does. Draftsman means who has done ITI in draftsman and who is familiar with the softwares. Because now in even ITI 2 years course also, these SSC first students, they are taught AutoCAD and they are taught one modeling software as well. Hmm. So that is a part of the drafting. The design engineer will give the instructions to the draftsman that I want like this, like this, like this, like this. Okay. Now you make the assembly drawing and then we'll do the detailed drawing. So because the engineer in initial conception and evaluation, he has already got the facts from the customer. Then he review the requirements. He asks the customers, "Okay, what are your requirements? What is the size? What is the cycle time? How much time it should come? Then what will be the raw material, then where the site is, all that requirements he reviews. Then he also works out that what should be the performance of the project. Performance of the project means basically the output, how the what whether the output of the equipment what he is going to design is going to match his customer. Like suppose customers had some very small shafts, very small pins to be made. Then a product engineer will design some sort of a special purpose machine, or a machine tool manufacturer will design and make a machine which is very small machine, which is called the rabbit machine. Rabbit, or which is something closer to Shoblin lathes. Shoblin lathes are small machines, 3 feet, 4 feet. Rabbit lathes are very small, which can be mounted on your tabletop. Like आप जो ताले का जो चाबी बनाते हैं, that is a kind of a lathe only. और the wristwatch ka mechanical parts, small keys, small gears ka blanks, were all very small parts. So they all make on rabbit lathe. So that is what engineer has in his mind. Then he also does the brainstorming, with other people's. So this is what we discuss with his team, because now we are talking about concurrent engineering. In concurrent engineering, all the team members from all the departments, they come together and they discuss the feasibility, and then only they go ahead. That is marketing people, design people, planning people, purchase people will all sit together before any project is commenced or before any project is started. ऐसा नहीं कि marketing वाला खाली marketing order लाएगा order और दे देगा करो करके. No. He has to discuss with design, he has to discuss with purchase whether the material is available, raw material. uh, then he has to discuss with production people that whether it is going to be possibly manufactured in our plant or not, all those things. Then next step is analyze the process. So in analyze the process, this is again to be worked in concurrent with process engineers. So in this, the entire design is analyzed and what will be the uh,
Excuse me,
ideas
sir.
are formulated. Somebody is joining out.
Yes, sir.
Uh, 25 minutes. Yeah. All right. Let's continue. So he also works out the mm, alternatives after discussing with his members, and then some kind of analysis is done. That yes, now it is possible to manufacture in our plant or with the help of the subcontractors. It is possible, and then only we will go ahead. Now the design engineer, the third step is general design, development and test. So here he has, he gives the basically he gives the layouts, assembly drawings. See, this is the equipment is, this is the machine frame size is, here the water tank will come, here the spindle will come, here the motors will come, then electric panel will come here, then blower is to be fitted on the top like that, then hydraulic power pack to be fitted below the machine like that. He prepares the general design. Then at the same time he checks, again he ensures that whether the project, whatever or equipment, whatever is being developed can be tested. You know, that is tested means can be tried out. That is whether the trials can be taken in house, or third party trials are required. Because see, now suppose if you got an order of say boiler, you want to make a boiler. Okay, so boiler, what is the requirement? That the pressure, that is steam pressure. Okay, at high pressure. Then another requirement is temperature. These are the two important things. Under high pressure, this high temperature steam should not burst out. Any boiler, you cannot make it as a single piece. No way. So it will have a cylindrical shell, and at the both the ends it will have a semi-spherical shells which are welded. So the weldings are X-ray tested, ultrasonically tested. The material, boiler plates, they are all ultrasonically tested. NDT testing is done. There should not be any kind of blowholes or any kinds of small cracks which will open out during the service. During the service means during the working. So all these has to be done by the third party. The raw material is tested thoroughly. So that has to be done by third party. Why third party? Because you as a manufacturer can write anything. Yes, this is okay, this is okay, this is fine, correct. But the end user, he will not believe. He says, no, I want the certification from the third party. Means who is neutral to the manufacturer and who is neutral to the customer also. That is what is called as the third party. And there are many third parties available who certifies. Like our father Agnel is also a acts as a third party. Like those who wants employment in the foreign companies, we test them. You know, we test them means the foreign companies, they will conduct the interviews, etc. But now they don't know, whether he is good practically. For example, a welder, we are talking about say X-ray welding. X-ray welding is very high skill job. You should be very skilled. So they don't have, means the candidate has to come, has to go to say Dubai for the practical test. So that is quite expensive. So they will hire Father Agnel services. So we act as a third party. So they will send the selected or shortlisted candidate to Father Agnel campus. You might have seen we have a trade center. So there we conduct the test. We have the facility. So something like that. Suppose if you want to make a boiler, then all the boiler plates has to be tested by third party. Then after the boiler is erected, it has to be subjected to the high pressure, then that temperature test, because if it leaks, then accidents can happen. Like in our bathroom also, the small geyser is also a boiler. It's a kind of a boiler that should not burst out, because the safety criteria. So that is what a design engineer and the process engineer, they think about. They think about. So once this is finalized, then only And after, once again, after the approval, these all these general design development tests are sent, to the customers, fine. And then after his approval, then they also send, the customer also send his own specification. That is what is called the technical specification. Then he makes the agreement with the manufacturer. Like, you are manufacturer, I am customer. Then I'll send an agreement. In this agreement, I will specify, in detail. Heat blower I want from this company. Pressure regulator I want from this company. Automation, that is PLC, I want from Siemens. Then drives I want from Mitsubishi. Uh, like this. Then Pneumatics, I want Festo. I don't want SMC. I don't want Genetics. I don't want walls. I want from Avonix. So everything I will specify. Brands, ball screws, I want from Hyben. Then probes, I want from Renishaw. That is what the customer will specify in the agreement. This is what the components you have to use. The servo motors, I want it from the Siemens. Like that. And that is what is called the technical agreement. Once you agree, as a manufacturer, because see, the end user customer, I can give all, high five brands, but then cost I must pay also accordingly, isn't it? When I'm asking for the Hiving ball screw and when I'm asking for the Chinese ball screw, the cost difference is very high. It's a typical, suppose a ball screw, Hiving or Nikken ball screw will cost 1 lakh, but the same you go for the Chinese, it will come to 40,000. So the total equipment cost will come down, So you as a manufacturer also should agree, because the cost moment I go on, like it is like a Nike shoes, or an ordinary shoes, 3,000 branded. As a end user, I will always go for the good brand, but then the manufacturer, OEM, you should agree, that cost I should be able to pay. If I am not paying, then there will be disputes. So once this is signed, this agreement is signed, then you raise a purchase order. Okay, that is end user. I will raise the purchase order, and then only you start with the detailed design. huh? Because see, the detailed designing, it takes some man hours. It cannot be done free of cost. Correct, no? Even if I ask customers, मेरे को सब design दे दो, you will not give me, detailed design, because some man hours. If you are OEMs, then it will take at least 3 to 4 days, for detailed designing. So that cost, दो दो लाख का salary वगैरह. So unless and until you receive purchase order, you can't, start with the detailed designing. And then unless and until you receive advance, you cannot order the raw materials. You cannot order the raw material. This is what the industry practices are. So once the detailed design means, you will give the instructions to the draftsman for detailed analysis, detailed component, each and every component drawing. hmm, then all the instructions for the testings, how it is going to be tested. This is what is done in detailed design. And once this detailed designing is done, then you go for the hardware development. Now in hardware development, you study, like, you need some special kind, you need special kind of machines, do you need any special kind of tools, like broach I showed, do you need any special raw materials, like I give, like suppose the equipment or the tank, is the liquid is suppose acid, 30% acid, 30% H2SO4. Then you cannot go for MS tank. You cannot go for MS tank. You have to go for SS316L tank, or you cannot. You have to go for PP tubs, PP, polypropylene tubs. The piping should not be of MS or GI pipes, that what you get, normal. You have to go for PVC pipings, or you have to go for HDP. So this kind of developments is called as the hardware development. Then accordingly you have to order the raw material. Accordingly you have to order the machines, equipments, testing equipments. That is what is called as the hardware development. So this comes in design process, and then process engineer has to study and place the order for this through the purchase department. See, purchase department, the duty of the purchase department is to issue the purchase order, and maybe some negotiations. But nowadays, purchase engineer himself, he does the negotiations, and he writes the specifications of the equipment. So I want like this. For example, say let's talk about motor. Very simple example. So motor, what should be the HP? You have to calculate the HP depending upon the torque and depending upon the RPM and depending upon the load. You, then what should be the RPM? Like say today, if you're talking about 2 HP, moment you say standard, then it will come 2800 RPM. Hmm? Two poles. But if you want 1400 in 2 HP, then you have to go for four poles. Then we will get 1440 or 1400 RPM. So that process engineer will work out that specification. What about mounting, motor mounting? Whether you want frame mounting, that is foot mounting, or whether you want flange mounting. I hope you understand all this. Flange mounting means motor will have a flange which is coupled with the pump or whatever it is with round flange, or motor can be kept on his base. So that is what is called as the base mounted, or that is what is called the foot mounted. That is I2, I3. Normally all the motors are now I3. Nobody goes for I2 because I3 is environmental friendly. Hmm. What should be the casing type? How cooling, motor cooling has to be done. So all that simply motor is not enough. So you have to say 230 volt, 50 hertz, 16 ampere, uh, then foot mounted or flange mounted, then 2 HP, 1440 RPM. Because this purchase department may not understand if they don't have purchase engineer, full-fledged purchase engineer. Even sometimes purchase engineer is also half he is technical and half he is commercial, or maybe I will say 30% technical and 70% commercial. So sometimes he also doesn't understand many of the technical terms. Because see, purchase engineer, purchase department, they have to do purchasing of mechanical item, purchasing of electrical item, purchasing of electronic item, purchasing of pneumatics, hydraulics. That one person cannot have this all knowledge. So there the role of purchase engineer comes. Like say maybe variable feed drives, or let us talk about say PLC. Hmm? Or let us talk about PLC, isn't it? So how many inputs, how many outputs you want PLC, whether you want Allen Bradley, whether you want Siemens, whether you want Mitsubishi. So all these things, all these things. Hello? हाँ बोला. हाँ हाँ ते आता डेट पुढे सरकवायला लागेल ना. कारण तो ते मेल पाठवताना पण ते लगेच विचारतील. तर डेट पुढे सरकवा. हा मग सगळ्यात आधी पुढे पुढे सरकवा आणि मग मेल पाठवा. तुम्ही बनवा ना आणि आता सौरभ पण बनवतो आहे. पण एक हॉट नाही नाही रोज नाही करायचं फक्त आपल्याला सांगत जायचं की आता हा झालेला आहे. तर असं तुम्ही बनवा ऑटोसाठी कारण जर सौरभ बनवत सेपरेट कारण सौरभ बनवण्याचं होत नाही ऑटोसाठी सेपरेट बनणार. डिस्कस करायचं असेल तर दाखवू शकता. तो कार्तिक कॉन्टॅक्ट करते कार्तिकच्या वरती एक आहे तो मनीष करून तिथं परचेस परचेस एक सतीश आहे डिझाईनची. हा एक पाठवून आणि जेव्हा तुम्ही अपडेट करून त्याला ते पॅकेज सगळे बघा कॅलेंडर समोर ठेवून ठीक आहे. चांगलं मग कसं. Yes, so sorry, an important call was there. So this is what hardware development is. Like I was talking about PLC, and then same thing is with the pneumatics. Pneumatics also so complicated now. 3x2, 5x2 walls, multi-pin connectors, flow control walls. Exhaust valve, pressure pressure sensors, pressure control wall. There is all difference that only process engineer can understand. So that's why we call the process engineer as a hub of the organization. See, if I ask you what is the difference between pressure sensor and pressure regulator and pressure control, all these three are different for process engineer, but for purchase engineer उसको तो सेम ही लगेगा. पर क्या बात करते हैं, प्रेशर रेगुलेटर, प्रेशर कंट्रोल, प्रेशर सेंसर सब सेम है. बट नो, there is a difference, differential pressure. Do you know nowadays the pressure regulators are available in millibars. When it is pressure pressures, pressure gauges, they are available in millibars, 1 millibar, 2 millibar. uh, because some equipments, the pressure sensors, whenever there is a differential pressure, so that sense they should be able to sense even the pressure in the range of millibar, 10 millibar, 20 millibar, like that. Hmm. So this is what comes under hardware development. And then once this is done, after hardware development, then you take a pilot run, and then after pilot run, you are uh, producing that design, producing that new design, whatever uh, you have designed. Right? So only after the pilot runs. Right? Like suppose I give you one component uh, to design, then first you will have a pilot trial, and then uh, maybe for 10 samples or 20 samples, and that you send it to the customer, uh, and you take a approval. Like suppose customer has a requirement of uh, say 1,000 meters of a tube, 1,000 meters of a tube, HDP tube, 1,000 meters. Then he has said that I want to hardness this hardness, as I told, that I want a hardness of say 50 shore. Then ID should be within this, OD should be within this. Then they should not, it should not be hard. So for that, what you will do, you will take a sample, of say at least 5 meters, and then that sample, 5 meter sample, you will give it to the customer, and after his approval comes, then only you will, you know, uh, you will manufacture the complete 1,000 meters cut tubes, I said. So you are also safe and customer is also happy. This is how it works. Then next important is say design DTC, that is say design to cost. Design to cost. Now if I ask, what is the rate of, can anybody tell me what is the rate of SS316L per kg, roughly? Those who are working on the projects, they may be having idea. Shitte, any idea? SS316L. Hello? If you don't
Yes,
know,
sir.
SS316L, what is the cost per kg?
No, sir, don't know.
Suppose if it is say 300, okay, 300 rupees a kg, and you have designed a shaft, and you have said that design engineer has said that I want the weight, raw material weight is say 5 kg, okay, SS316L. So what will be the cost of the shaft, Anirudh, or anybody, if it is
5
300?
multiplied by 5. No?
So that will come to around 1500, correct? Now then
Yes.
it comes to process engineer. Okay, so process engineer studies what is the application. The shaft is going into the water. Let's say it is, there is a well, okay, and in that well the shaft is immersed. So the what is the requirement, that the shaft should not, the basic requirement is shaft should not corrode, isn't it? The suppose if it corrodes, then afterwards it will break, isn't it? It will get pitted and it will be broken. So the main requirement is that it should be anti-corrosive shaft. It should be anti-corrosive shaft. So if you think of MS, see now MS, what is the rate? As I told, prime quality. Prime quality, you understand, no? Means we say branded. So presently it is around 60 rupees. Okay, but the 60 rupees, so for 5 kilo it is 60 into 5, 300 rupees, as against SS, which is 1500 rupees. All right. Then if I am going to use MS, it will corrode in the water, isn't it? Then, as a process engineer, what changes you will suggest, Anil, or anybody else? Is the
So
question clear?
apply code to it.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. So you are into that direction. Okay. Now I can understand that you are not aware of the process. So what we do in these cases, we do the that coat is nothing but we call it the plating. So we
Yes.
plating. So we do the plating on that. So hard chrome plating, zinc plating, depending upon the environment, whether it is acidic, weak acid, or whether it is water. And plating is only 20 rupees a kilo. So how much? What is the final cost? 25 kilo ka it will be 100 rupees plating cost and 300 rupees is the ms ka cost, so it comes 400 as against 1500. So this is what is called as the design to, this is what is called the design to cost, understand? So many times these decisions has to be taken by process engineer many times. So then once the pilot run is taken, then you have to go for the uh, design. Now I was talking about DTC, that is design to cost. So how the cost can be reduced, and I gave you one example also. So what is the process of design to cost? You have to identify, as I have told, that first thing is that customer satisfaction. So customer needs has to be identified, customer values has to be honored or has to be respected. This is what is very important. Customer need, because now customer is king, isn't it? And of course within the cost concept, that is most important, within the cost concept. But if the customer has said that he wants, the tolerance of point 0.1, then you should not give 0.05. That you have to bear in mind, remember, because 0.05 is going to increase the cost. Understand? Then once you identified the customer needs and values, then you have to establish the price volume, huh? And this price will depend always on the volume or always on the quantity. What is the quantity to be manufactured, right? And of course nobody does, this is not a charity, nobody does on, you know zero profits, or nobody does simply on the break even. Break even, usually we say that break even should come 6 months. In 6 months, the break even should come. Break even means no loss, no profit. Break even considers all the labor cost, manufacturing cost, all the salaries, everything is considered. But in that break even, the profits are not considered, isn't it? So if you don't get a profit, then that business, there is no point in continuing that business, you understand, no? Because you must get profit, then only you can do additional investment, you can buy additional equipments, and profits are required, you can do some savings, isn't it? See, today suppose your business is in high, but tomorrow suppose like this unforeseen circumstances come, like say corona pandemic. So that time you should be able to pay to your laborers. So for that, saving from the profit is very much required, very much essential. You should have at least, that suppose if you don't have any business, you are committed to your labor. There are families. Suppose you have started, tomorrow you will become an entrepreneur. You have suppose employed 10 staff, hmm, to begin with. So 10 staff का family रहते हैं, understand, no? So altogether you are responsible, 40 जन का पेट का you are responsible, isn't it? So you have to take responsibility for another 6 months. Suppose if there is no business, then for 6 months I should be able to feed these 40 people. They depend on me. So that's why you must earn the profit. And then it depends upon your product. If it is a monopoly product, then you are the king. Manufacturer is the king. You can have 50% more margin, you can have 100% profit margin. But if the same product is being manufactured by four peoples, like say car, you know, same car is manufactured by say four people. Today's end user is very smart. He will take quotation from three peoples, isn't it? Then there you have to be very competitive. Understand? There you have to quote properly. You have to estimate the price perfectly, and you have to quote properly. So that is what is called as the costing. You should quote within plus minus 5%, because even if there is a little, here and there in rupees, the people will ask in rupees. The end user will ask in rupees. Yes, sir. So because there is you have a volume and you have a competitors also. huh? So suppose if you have quoted 10 rupees per piece, and if another competitor, if he is quoting say 9 rupees or 8 rupees, the order will go to him. Hmm? But this same, suppose if it is a monopoly item, then you can dictate your term. Understand? So that is what is. But at the same time, you have to see that you are not going in loss. At least break even. So you can reduce your profit margin. बराबर है 20% का 15% per se. Usually the profit margin for normal business, it is 15%. Means 15% profit you should get. But then you can, depending upon the competition, you can reduce your profit margin 15% ka 10%, 10% ka 5%. So people come down till 5%. Okay. Then as I said, that product requirement that has to be agreed upon. Product requirement, various brands. I told you, isn't it? One Chinese ball screw and Nikken or Renishaw. It makes the difference. It makes the difference. So that has to be clear, and that is what you do the signing. You do sign off on the agreement. Nowadays, the end users are so choosy, and the competition is so scary. The end user also asks for the FMEA, that is failure mode effect analysis from the manufacturer. Then develop trade-offs of function against cost. See, this is means you have to have a compromise, of the function and cost, function of the cost. Understand? In order to give the costing to the customer. Compromise, you understand, isn't it? Compromise between function and the cost. That is, your cost should not be very high. Hmm? At the same time, your cost should not be very low. Like suppose, see what happens now. Suppose now you have you are I mean say, let us take an example of say a shoes manufacturer. Okay, you have said that my price of my shoes is say 10,000. Why 10,000? Because you have said that this shoes will last for 10 years. It will function properly. On 10 years it will function. But now the peoples or the customers, they are so choosy that even if it is 10,000, nobody is going to use the shoes for the 10 years. Understand? No, everybody needs a change. As well the youngsters, not even youngsters, even the middle age or even the seniors also. Nobody will use it for 10 years. Even though it is going to last for 10 years, people will go for a change. Understand? No, or garments, pants and shirts. You will say, the cost of my this coat is say 20,000 because it is going to last for say 15 years. Nobody is going to use that coat for 15 years. Everybody needs change. Understand? No. So so that time, what you will do? You will compromise on the function. Instead of 15 years, what you will do? You will design something and you will manufacture something which will last only for 5 years, and accordingly you will reduce the cost. This is what is called as the compromise between the function and the cost. All right. And then, as I said, then you prepare the initial design, that is called as the GA, that is general assembly drawings. All right. Then detailing. Then you also work out the testing cost. Fine. Because every steps this cost is required, this cost is important. And then final product design, then you release the drawings, that is what is called the ER, that is ER is nothing but the engineering release, and so on. And then once this is done, then the role of process engineer is not over, or role of the product engineer is not over. We are engineers. See, I will tell you that as an engineer, you should not be stuck with the routine work. You should not be stuck with the routine work. Engineers are meant for development. Engineers are meant for research and development. Understand? If you are stuck with the routine activities, if every day you are doing same thing, that means there is a question mark. Then you have to take a call. Look for change. At the same time, if you are happy with that work, then I'm not going to stop you, because finally the happiness is required. If you're happy with that, fine, go ahead. But the mantra is engineers are meant for research and development, right? At the same time, the most important is happiness. If you are happy with one car, absolutely no problem. If you are happy with no car also, with public transport, with rickshaws, again no problem. Hmm? Some people are not happy even with the four cars. All right. So what I was telling that ongoing redesign for cost reduction, that research and development, it's a continuous process. You have to take the feedback from the market. You have to take the feedback from the end users. How my equipment is functioning. Is there any possibility of redesign for cost reduction? So that is what has to be seen. Then this is your design to assembly. Again, everywhere design to assembly, everywhere that production requirement is important. Production requirement is important. Whether you want to make only one piece, one washing machine, or whether you have to make 1,000 washing machine, whether you have to make one lock or whether you have to make 1,000 numbers of locks. So accordingly, your assemblies, design for assembly is different. Like now, say I'll give an example of say Mahindra, Bolero. There the requirement is minimum. Can anybody tell me what is the cycle time of Bolero in Mahindra Kandivali plant? Cycle time means rolling out time. Like they have a assembly line for the vehicle. Okay, so in an hour, how many cars are manufactured? Any idea? Anirudh, any idea? In 1 hour, how many vehicles are manufactured?
No,
And in
sir.
no, sir. Or any motorcycles, Bajaj ka or Maruti ka cars, what is the production rate? Okay, I will tell you the production rates. These are the true figures. The I think Oswal also knows. Shrenik Oswal. Shrenik is there? I don't know. Last time he has said that for the motorcycle, two wheelers, the cycle time is around 28 seconds. That means in 1 minute, two motorcycles are manufactured approximately. Hmm? In 1 minute. That means in hours it is 120. So 120 multiplied by 8. You know, that means around 1,000 motorcycles in a shift. If I talk about Mahindra, your Kandivali plant, there the cycle time is 95 seconds. That means in 95 seconds, this is a 2 years back figure. Now it must have improved. Definitely, it must have come to 90 seconds. If I talk about Maruti, so Maruti ka cycle time is around 50 seconds. That means in 50 seconds, one Maruti car is rolled down. Rolled down means manufactured completely. So depending upon the production requirements, you have to design your assembly line. It's a beautiful example of design for assembly. Understand? Depending upon the work content, your assembly line is designed. Hmm. Same if you go for the Mercedes, or same if you talk about Volkswagen. So those assembly lines will be different. There the production requirement is less. Or if you visit Mazgaon dock, submarine requirements, those assembly lines will differ because their production requirement is less. So those assembly lines are different. There the assembly concepts are all altogether different. If I talk about say Mahindra 95 seconds, so my assembly line will at least have 50 workstations. Then only I can meet that requirement of 95 seconds, or 90 seconds per piece. 50 वर्कस्टेशन एक वर्कस्टेशन में आएगा चैसी देन चैसी के नेक्स्ट वर्कस्टेशन में दे विल लोड एक्सल फ्रंट एक्सल उसके आगे का वर्कस्टेशन में दे विल लोड रेयर एक्सल देन नेक्स्ट वर्कस्टेशन में दे विल लोड डिफरेंशियल लाइक दैट देन द chassis will be turned around then they will load the body like that. So this is what your assembly line is. Lot to talk. So this is the production requirement. Then labor content, how much complex your assembly is. So like suppose now if the workstation is designed for tire mounting, so generally for the four wheelers we have to give 5 tires, isn't it? इसको हम लोग stepney बोलते हैं. That is we call as spare wheel, stepney or spare wheel. So in this case, how many people will be required? Can anybody tell me? In this case, how many people will be required? 5 peoples. Understand? 5 in a workstation. Four for these four wheels and one for stepney mounting. So this is what is called the labor content. How much labor is involved? Then labor rate. Labor rate means at what rates the labors are available. At what rates the labors are available. So that again, determines the assembly. That again determines the assemblies. Right? Like suppose if you if your labor rates are very high, If your, I'll show you some assembly lines. If your labor rates are very high, that is foreign companies, you know, there the labor is expensive. So there you have to go for maximum automation. You have to maximize automation. You have to go for mechanized assembly. You know, you or rather on top of this, you can go for unmanned assembly. Means labor का ही जरूरत नहीं. Why? Because labor is very expensive. So that cost, if I invest in my mechanization or in automation, within a year, I am going to get that cost back. I say not totally unmanned, but instead of 50 high skilled or high cost labor, I can come down to 10 if I invest in equipment. That is what is called the trade off. Understand? But same scenario in India. In India, the labors are available with quite a good economical cost, isn't it? So there I did not go for automation. My assembly did not be automated. I have labors available for lifting the tire, for fixing up the tires, for tightening the bolts. But there in foreign companies, no, I will automate. I will automate the tire lifting process, tire loading process, tire fixing process, and even nut and bolt assembly process. I will go for pneumatic runners, automatic. Not only one nut tightening at one time. I will automate the assembly in such a way that all the six nuts will be tightened together. एक साथ छह nut. So my labor content will come by 1/6 if there are six nuts to be tightened. Then life of the product, life of the product. So that life of, so whether to go for nut and bolt fastening, or whether to go for rivet type of fastening, or whether to go for snug feed, huh, that is tight feed. So that will depend upon the life of the product. Uh, Usually the riveted or welded, they give high life. That's why if you go for all these bridges, flyovers bridges or railway car bridges, they are all riveted and welded. huh? We don't use snug type of like अपना washing machine या tape recorder उसमें कैसा snug type fitting रहता है. Snug type fitting मतलब कैसा, you don't use any nut bolts rivet etc. You have to just कट करके हम लोग डालते हैं मेल फीमेल, टाइट हो जाता है. That is what depends upon the life of the product, because we know हम लोग को 5 साल ही चलाना है, या 8 साल चलाना है. So I don't have to go for welding or don't have to go for riveting. Then direction and position of the job axis. As far as possible, you have to see that assembly is done in only in one axis, and basically it is vertical axis. ऊपर से ही सब डालना है. ऐसा नहीं कि वर्टिकल से बाद में उसको घुमाओ, लेफ्ट साइड से, राइट साइड से, बैक साइड से, फ्रंट साइड से, देन फ्रॉम द बॉटम साइड. So those kind of things are not good assembly designs. Assembly should be done, design should be done in such a way that you go on mounting, go on assembling the components in one direction only. Then what are the mechanisms of automatic control? That is, suppose now you have designed the assembly line. So in assembly line, how the components are moved from one workstation to another workstations. Or if you talk about say pharmaceutical company, or you talk about bottling plants. Okay, so how the material is going to be fed. So that is what is called as the part feeders or magazines. Magazines means tool magazines. Like in case of CNC machines, we discussed. I showed you the tool magazine, tool pockets, how the tools are loaded and how the tools are retrieved. Then vibratory bowls. Vibratory bowls means what? The bowls में powder रहता है या capsules रहता है, and that bowls are vibrated so that the material is fed. Then transfer device, how to transfer from one workstation to another station, which kind of conveyor you are going to use, whether you are going to use roller chain conveyor, or whether you are going to use motorized conveyor, motor gearbox, or simply you know uh, I mean without any drivers. So all these, or start to stop conveyor. So all that comes under transfer device. Then whether it is going to be a straight line assembly line, or whether it is a rotary assembly line, or whether it is U type assembly line, or whether it is S type assembly line. So all that comes under design for assembly line. Suppose if we have, a long space like in longitudinal direction, so there you can go for a straight assembly line. But if you don't have ऐसा पूरा लंबे का लंबा space, if you have a rectangular space, then you can go for U type assembly line. So depends upon the, this layout depends upon the space available, and of course your assembly also. And then indexing, how the indexing has to be done, you know indexing, that is Geneva mechanism, etc, etc. ठीक है, we will stop here. If you have any doubts, please ask.
No, sir. Maybe ask lecture because the other lecture will be now
Yeah,
starting up.
okay. You can write down your doubts and you can ask tomorrow also, in the beginning. आज कुछ पूछा नहीं शेटे तुम ज्यादा.
सर डाउट्स थे, आप एक्सप्लेन कर रहे थे, मैं लिख के रखे.
Okay, fine. ठीक है. So thank you so much.
थैंक यू सर.